I made about $5,500 in about an hour and a half. Here is the unedited live trading session that we get from the Telegram. Just want to give you guys a taste of that. There was 3 trades over 2 different trading sessions. My normal trading session in the morning, and then I like the price action at about 1 o'clock Central Time. We caught a dead cat bounce, and then I shorted it after that, and that trade ended up being lost. So we won 2 of the trades. We lost one of them with a profit of about $5,500. And I think there's lots of valuable information in here. So without further ado, enjoy the video. We got Bitcoin currently sitting at 77,150. We got Ethereum at 2253. And we have our if-then statement for our shorts and longs. And right now it's looking like a short. So we have the 2 long scenarios. If ETH sweeps to 2260 to 2245 and the 5-minute RSI, we get a bullish divergence, which we have not gotten that. And Bitcoin holds 77.5, which it did not. Then we could long. And then we have a long scenario number 2 is reclaim 2335. The 5-minute RSI, both are holding 50. Then we could long there. And then the shorts are if we push to 2335 and the 5-minute starts failing, then we could basically scalp it back down. But the one that looks like is if ETH loses 2240 and then gets a below 45 and Bitcoin breaks 77.5, then we could short Ethereum. So it looks like that we could see about a bullish divergence, because I guess technically we do have a bullish divergence on the 5-minute. We do have a bullish divergence. As you can see, the RSI is going up here and the price is going down. Okay, let me read that one again. Let's see. ETH sweeps 2260. 5-minute RSI bullish divergence. Yes, yes. And then closes back above 2275. Okay. And then Bitcoin gets to 77. Okay, so that is on the board. So that's going to be our what we're looking for. We're going to long if we can get back to 2275, because we have all the other stipulations here. And then we're going to short if it takes out 22, looks like 2240. Okay, so it looks like we might be reclaiming 2275 here. So we'll see if we can get back. I'm going to put my VPN on so I'm ready to make a play. All right, so basically the 2 most common outcomes we have here, because we have 4, but the 2 that I'm seeing right now is reclaiming 2275 and then coming back to about 2260. We have all the setup here for the bullish divergence on the 5 minutes. To take that long, it would be take profit 1 would be 2310, which would basically just be putting in a new high here. Take profit 2 would be 2335. This looks pretty close. We're at 2275 here, so let's see if we can bounce to. And then the short is if we lose 2240, that's the short. We would short it to 2200. Okay, so we've reclaimed 2275 here. So let's see if we can get a little bit of a pullback here. We're at 2270. I don't want too much of a pullback. But listen, I gave the shorts a fair fair shake. Listen, if I'm being honest and transparent, the most I've ever been wrecked is by shorting. And so I'm a little scarred by doing that. So I just kind of look for long setups. But I short too, but I like longing more. But I'm trying to give a fair shake to a short. Because if you're long, you can only be wrong so much. You can be wrong indefinitely to the short side, though. Let's get our cigar going here. All right, we're back to 2260. Okay, so we have two stipulations here. 2260, 2245. I don't want to see 2245. Let's see if we make a new low here. We do have a bullish divergence on the 5-minute for sure. We can see the price going down as the RSI is clearly going up. So that is definitely a bullish divergence. All right, let's see. I'm going to see about 22. This is right at about our entry, 2260 on the smaller. We'll give this a shot. All right, 2260 take profit is 2310. Really, we're looking to press. We probably will take profit at this 200 here. We'll see how the momentum looks, but really just looking to take this out over here, get that impulsive move. So we're going to put that at 2310. And then we're going to put our stop loss at 2240. I think that's good. It's about a double risk to reward ratio. All right, 20x long. 2262 is what I got. 2310 is the take profit. Although we're just going to take a look. We're gonna pay attention to momentum, and that's something that I'm going to really dial in as we keep going with this. Something that I haven't done a great job with the last few weeks is just like, you know, we're waiting for the bigger macro trend reversal, but we haven't gotten that yet. So while we haven't gotten it, we just need to pay attention to the momentum, like seeing momentum slowing down, and whether it be we're up 8%, we're up 12%, we're up 38%, whatever the case may be, just seeing that momentum slow down and just going ahead and taking profit and just being done with it. Because basically we got what we were looking for, just not the numbers that we were looking for. So that's something I'm personally trying to dial in here. Like we're up 5% right now. Take a look at this. A nice bullish divergence. I'm not expecting actually a high or even a reversal at this time, because that technically would be that. So I'm probably going to take a look here at 2290, which is going to be the 200. we'll probably take a look there. And then, you know, there should be short opportunities the other way as well. We got the lucky cigar, though. Is anyone... Okay. The stop loss is 22.40. Which is basically just be a new low. All right. Let's see what we can do here. Today is a good opportunity. And even me, guys, like, you know, I'm trying to perfect and work on my craft, and I'm not a finished product either, and I'm trying to like tweak things that I'm doing wrong as well. One of them is just not trying to let runners run when it's not that time yet. There'll be a time for that, but we just haven't got there. And you know, I've left some money on the table because I've been doing that. So I'm just gonna be taking profit and just like, you know, look for the price action that we were looking for, whether it be the magic number that I picked or not, but just seeing the momentum and, you know, kind of viewing that. But we got to clear the 100 here, and then I'm probably going to take a look at the 200. Um, we're about to get across on the downside on the 1 minute. So we'll see. But we're also about to get across on the upside on the 5 minute. So we'll see which one's telling the truth. Let's take a look at some of the other markets while we're waiting. What's going on around? Russell basically at 22 or 262.88. That's still good. Silver's having a bounce. So is gold. Up 6%. That's insane. And then silver's up 10%. When did silver become a meme coin? 10% in a day. Oh man, that's crazy. That's how you know we're at the finality. Like that is how you know. I don't know if it's going to be today, tomorrow. I mean, we were just at 121. So like what was it? 7 trillion that got wiped out in a single day. That's, you know, that's more than every single cryptocurrency including Bitcoin combined plus, you know, tripling it basically. That's a lot. And you know, for perspective, the October crash. Just imagine Bitcoin was at 121,000 and not 126,000, and then it went all the way straight to 68K. That's essentially what silver did, going from 121 down to 68. Insanity. I imagine too. I imagine the fear and greed is crazy high right now. 17. I actually thought it'd be higher. It was 14 yesterday. All right, let's see if we can get a push here. Take out this high. We do have a nice bullish divergence on the 5-minute. That's probably our strongest thing. Our biggest risk is, getting rejected off the 100 before we get to the 200. So maybe we'll take a look at that too, but probably not. It's 22.40, not 23.40 is the stop loss. Okay, we're back in the green. We're going to make a new high. See if we can take this out here. We would like Bitcoin to reclaim the 200 as well. That is a bigger risk too. This is decently oversold on the 15, but nothing too crazy. I imagine Bitcoin dominance is just, 60. All right, let's see if we can clear the 100 here. I'm going to be paying attention to momentum again. We're up 5%. I didn't do a crazy amount. I do like doing more margin in the morning session rather than if I do trade the Asian session. I like trading this like block after the open a bit more.
Hey, Ski, can you explain what people are talking about when they're saying left translated cycle? And plus, the other question is, when Bitcoin does run, do we have to go back through Bitcoin being the show, then Ethereum, and then all coins?
Okay, so give me the context of left translated of like what's the context of what people are saying that with?
I think they're referring to the business cycle.
Listen, I'm not gonna speak on things that I'm not. I don't know, so I'm not gonna. I can do some research on that, but I'm not gonna just like give you answers. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna speak on things that I don't know about. That's not my area for sure. I can do some homework on that and try to figure out whatever it is that they're talking about and give you my opinions on it. But I don't have any opinions on that. As far as with Bitcoin goes, we'll see because there's two ways that you could spin it. You could say that yes would be the answer if we're getting like a traditional bear market, and people are saying that we're going to be here till October. You put that out earlier. I don't think that we're going to do that. And then also one thing that has not happened yet. Again, like I keep going back to it, but I'm going to keep saying it until something happens, until I'm proven dead wrong. And it's laughable, like which would be when the Russell goes into price discovery and like goes into distribution. That's the one thing that still has not happened. And then also, I don't think we've gotten like a proof, like Ethereum never went into price discovery. I don't, XRP didn't go into price discovery. Like they made all-time highs, sure, but that it wasn't like a full leg higher. And so I don't think that phase has happened yet. And I don't think it's happened because the Russell has not done the thing that we've been talking about, which is going into price discovery and going into distribution. So if the Russell starts doing that and then we still not getting any price action, then I would say, yeah, it's going to be like Bitcoin's the show. And then, but I don't think, I have no inclination to think that that's how it's going to go. I think what's happening, it's slow and it's grueling because sometimes I'm super macro and it's annoying. I understand. But still, what's happening is gold and silver are doing the thing right now. They trade inversely to Bitcoin and crypto. And then the Russell is very quietly just right behind it. And we still need it to do that thing where it continues to go breaking out into price discovery. And based off of the fractal that we've shown, it would line up with the time when we're going to round the corner. You know what I mean? So my like strong lean, not even like a little lean, is strong lean is no, we're not going to do that. Anything is possible. However, I just think that it's the macro factors of like gold goes to the Russell and then the Russell goes into crypto. And gold and silver are doing their thing right now. They're stealing the thunder, but I think that I think it's undeniable at this point. Like you could say like, oh, you picked 78 and you picked 107, like whatever, potato. We went from 121 down to 68 in a single day. That tells me everything I need to know about the silver rally. Like, did I pick the wrong number by 10? Sure. That's fine with me. And I do that on crypto too. And I feel like the same is going to be true. The same was true with Sui. The same was true with Arrow. The same was true with Caspa. The same was true with a lot of these coins. I had smaller targets than what actually happened, and people were pissed the other way. Like people were pissed back in 2024 when I was saying that the top of Sui was in. I didn't get everything right, and I thought that the legacy coins were going to be next, and they've not done what I've expected them. But I do think that there's going to come a time when my targets are too conservative, just like with silver, because I would rather be, because I personally hold silver, or I did, and I would rather be out before we get to those levels because the difference between us being 121 back down to 68 was not very long. And even so, like it's not like you're getting 121 anyways. But to answer your question, no, I don't think it's going to be this long thing. I think that the altcoins have not went into price discovery, and it's because the Russell hasn't went into price discovery and distribution. And I think once the gold fully distributes, and we don't even need gold to go on a markdown. We just need it to chop and be sideways, which is what gold loves to do and what silver loves to do. We don't even need it to fall off a cliff. We just need it to chop and be sideways. Although I do think silver is probably getting back into the 50s eventually. And then we need the Russell to break out and go into distribution. And then I think it's going to be, much of the same. And I've said all along, March, I think, is when we're going to turn the corner. I said 2 targets was January, which was wrong, or March. And I think, like we talked about yesterday, we have the lunar eclipse on the 3rd, which is 27 days from now. That is the last lunar eclipse until 2029, which I've said since 2022. 2029 to me is the big one with everything. That's the everything bubble to me. So, and that's just with the 7-year. We talked about that a lot, but that's to me is the big one. The everything, that's the big one. And people say I'm a permabull and all this and that. Like I am not. I just think that generally I'm just super macro. And I think that generally we're going to have months and quarters where we're down, but we're going to trend up into 2029. And I think it's going to be the roaring 20s of the last little bit of that, especially when the Russell breaks out into price discovery, which really shows breadth into the markets. Hopefully that answers your question. But I can do some research if you send me some stuff on the other stuff, but that's not my area of expertise, and I'm not going to pretend like it is or just speak on things. You know what I mean? It's annoying when people do that to me, so I'm not going to do it to you.
No, I appreciate that.
Okay, rejection off of the 100 again. Let's see if we can clear it or if it's a full rejection or we're going to find support here. We're about to get across on the 5-minute here. We can see kind of gapped up here a little bit. Let's see if we can clear the 100 and we'll test the 200. I'm going to have, if we clear the 100, I'm going to have my finger on the trigger on the 200. I don't know that I'm going to wait for a full break here. Okay, that's a nice impulsive move. It's a nice little candle. 18%. All right, let's see. 21%. Yeah. Okay, there we go. That's all I wanted right there. 28%, $4,000. I will take that. I'm out of this trade fully. That's all I wanted. There we go. This will probably break this. That's really strong. But I'm not going to wait on it. That's a super strong candle. But again, I'm just going to be disciplined. I'm going to, you know, this is the habit that I've gotten into that has left money on the table, is letting them run when we're not in the macro uptrend. We're in accumulation. So I'm going to just be disciplined and take profit here. It does look like, so there you go. Let them know that I took profit. Someone, please.
I don't know about everybody else, Ski, but I love the fast trades.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that more and just be in and out. You know, let's look at when did I turn my VPN on? 23 minutes ago. So we made $4,000 in 23 minutes. That's a good thumbnail. It's a good title. All right, yeah, I'm out. I'm out of that trade. We might break this, but I'm fine with what I just did. Like, I'm going to try to continue to hone in on that of just taking what's there, taking what the market gives us. And then there will be a time to let runners run and we can have these crazy, you know, 300-400 gain trades, but the time is not now. And in these uncertain times of like accumulation, we just got to take what the market gives us and just be happy with that. And then like we came back to it on the Asian session and I said like, and I meant it, like half margin, we're not going to give back the gains. So we lost that trade, but we still profited on the day. And so, you know, it's just about constantly refining our process, adjusting where we're at within the market. And right now we're in a phase of like, we just got to take what the market gives us and just be content with that. And then there will be a time where we can have these crazy trades, but the time is not necessarily right now as far as the risk to reward. But all right, guys, that was a good day. I'm happy with that. If you guys want to let it run, hey, by all means, let it run, but do so at your own risk. At no point, if I put out a trade and you're in profit and you're like, man, I don't know, you don't need to wait for me to say take profit. Like if you feel like you should take profit, take profit. I don't want you guys to rely on me like that. I'm more of your guiding shaman rather than I'm not the Messiah. So if you guys feel like you want to take profit at any time and I haven't said so, go ahead. Like you're a big boy, you're a big girl, you can do that. Okay, so we've had a big sweep down on Bitcoin here that took out the April lows. That was the first time that happened here. We traded the 9 o'clock session here. I like to trade. My normal time is 9:30 Central Time. So that's 1 hour after open. I start looking for trades about 9 o'clock, but I like to wait for that first 30-minute. But we have a pretty decent risk to reward because I'm just going to take this trade and then I'm going to walk through it here. I'm going to walk through it after I take it because we have price action happening pretty quickly here. And like it's literally happening right now. I might have missed the move here actually. Damn it. Oh, that happens. Okay, that's fine. All right, I'm going to try to wait for 20. I don't think I'm going to get it. All right, I'm going to do half margin and we're just going to try to let this go here. I did not get a good entry because I was trying to teach here, but I already charted it out. when we were here. Just trying to get to the 200 here is what we're trying to do. I'm going to put my stop loss at a new low here, but I might have gotten this a little late. That's okay. I'm going to put the stop loss at 21. We're going to do 299, and then we're going to put the take profit at 2200. See, it's not a great. So I didn't play that well. That's okay. I saw it and did not play it well, but that's okay. We are in the profit right now. We're up 1%. I wanted to get that. I kind of FOMO'd a bit. Even showing, like, hey, I make mistakes too, but that's okay. But really, I'm trying to trade this with the impulse move that we've had from Bitcoin, sweeping the lows here on the daily that just happened. So this is a big. We have officially taken out this low back in April, and we're on top of a lot of support. And you can see we're still meandering here on the daily chart. So that's what we're trying to get. Is like, hey, there was just kind of a big liquidation that took place here, and I didn't get a good spot here. But the Bitcoin, we're getting across the upside on the 15. We're getting across the upside on the 5, and it looks like we're going to get this pretty quickly here. I did have margin. I was just trying to get a test of the 200. Now, we could break the 200 and flip this back pretty quickly, but I'm not going to press it because we're kind of in a spot of being in an unknown. Like Bitcoin just made a new low, but realistically, this was a sweep of a low, and there's a natural impulse bounce off of that always, and that's really the bread and butter of what I'm always trying to get here. So I'm in this trade. We're up 23%. We're going to be looking for momentum here, looking for momentum to kind of slow itself down. I'm not going to be greedy here. We're going to see if momentum slows down because this is a big impulse move, but this could easily roll over. So I'm not going to be crazy about this. I charted this. This is the mistake that I made. I charted this, I put it out in the group, and then I started teaching about it before I actually put in the trade. So I missed probably a good. Realistically, I saw this at 21.20. I didn't get in until like 21.50 or something like that. But that's okay. What is my actual chart? Yeah, 21.52, and I charted it at 21. 25. So I'm going to be very conservative. The second that I see momentum slow, I'm going to go ahead and cut this because we could get rejected off the 200. That's really all I'm trying to get here was to the 200. We'll give it a second to kind of break free of this because I missed it by like 20. So I'm up 25%. Like I'm not going to be crazy about that. But that's how fast it can happen, and like you have to be ready at a moment's notice to take action here. Let's give it a second to see if it wants to break the 200. We're getting a little hot on the 1 minute, but a firm cross on the 15 and on the 5 minute. This might be a bit early, and then also we could just come up to a point and just roll back over and put in a new low. So just like we were cautious this morning, I'm definitely going to be cautious too, and especially definitely because I don't have a great entry. I don't have the entry that I want. I don't have the risk to reward. It's really 1-to-1 what I got because I got in up here where I mapped it out at a 3-to-1. And all right, so it looks like we're kind of slowing here. I'm going to go ahead and take this. I'm not going to mess around. I'm out. So that was a quick little it says $4,000, but I don't think I made $4,000 on that. I think I made $2,000. This might keep going, and we'll see what the shorts are looking like. But that was a quick little scalp for sure. That was really quick, quicker than I wanted actually, because I was in teaching mode and I needed to take action. So let's see what wants to happen here. But yeah, that was, I mean, 6 minutes. 6 minutes and 46 seconds we just made. It says 4, but that's not right. Let me go and check this out here. What did we actually get here? What was the position here? History. Positions. Yeah, $2,080, $81. I don't know why it said 4,000. I knew it wasn't 4,000. Cool. But that's all right. That was a proper scalp. I tried to come on here as quickly as I could. I tried to be in teacher mode, but then I started to miss it. So again, like now it's kind of in the reverse. So I don't want to be greedy here because we're already up $6,000 on the day. And that was a half margin trade, and I didn't even get a good entry. I got a terrible entry there. But we could do it in reverse here because we're getting kind of hot. The thing is, like, we want to see where this gets rejected. But the risk to reward is like, you could flip it for a short now. This was a huge impulse, so I don't want to be too greedy here, but there is a short opportunity back to a higher low now. Let's put this out. Okay. Let's see where this wants to cool off. Let's see like some momentum. Slow itself down here. Because I might put in a short now. Let's see what we're talking about here. So I'm thinking we get, what was the original, the short, if rejection off 2175 to 2200 RSI. Okay, so we have the short opportunity now. What is the stop loss? 22. Okay, so let's say the entry. We're in the entry zone. I'm going to put it at 2200. And then we're going to put the stop loss at, what is it, 2235. Okay, and then the take one is 2125, which is just a higher low. So that's a 1.6 to 3.3, almost a double risk to reward. This is risky though because we have reclaimed loses 50 RSI on the 5 minute. We have reclaimed that. So that is kind of an invalidation for that trade. But I imagine we're going to get a rejection here. But that would be typical fashion. I'm really thinking through this right now. Typically, you get rejected off the 200. However, this was a liquidity sweep for sure at this point. A lot of people had already drawn a line in the sand, like if we take out 75 or if we take out the April lows, we're going to go into a bear market. So people already did that. And that's where the market maker likes to go. So this really feels like a liquidity sweep right here. But history would say we're going to get rejected here. And we've already taken the long. Okay, I'm going to do half leverage again. Or not leverage, but half margin. I'm going to go ahead and take a stab at this. We're technically... I'm going to take a short here. All right. We're going to be very cautious here. So half leverage or margin, excuse me, of what I was already half margin. So I'm going to do probably 2%. And then we're going to do a short here. Okay. All right, I am in on a short. Very dangerous short. But it's okay. We're doing half. We're already up 6 grand. We're doing half again. We're going to do the take profit at 21.25, and we're going to do the stop loss at, where is my stop loss? 21.35. No. 22.35. Okay. And yeah, decent risk to reward. More reward than risk. We're up 3%. Very small margin. I'm not going to be crazy. We've already had 2 profitable trades, and I keep backing off the margin, the trades that we do. But I got this one. I got this one late. I charted this at 31.25. I did not get an entry until 31.50. And then we got a little bit of that price action. A little bit less margin than this morning. But I like the price action because this is I love trading sweeps. Like huge moves happen. I love trading the move after that because it becomes a bit more, this was kind of irrational. This becomes more predictable. So this is where the risk to reward right now. We're in profit a little bit right now. We've gotten a rejection off of the 200. We're up 7%. Mamma mia. Like, okay. I don't know if someone put out that I put in a short. Short. $20. It's already probably too late for whoever, because I'm already thinking about pulling the trigger because I'm not going to let this, because it was such an impulse that we could have impulse the other way for sure. So like I'm not going to be crazy about this. I'm already 2 trades in. This is the 3rd trade, but just a good day so far. But okay, yeah, we're up 5%. Really back to 21.50. I would be fine with a test on the 100, really just emptying out that and being done for the day. But I love trading these. When you have like a liquidity sweep, you have an impulse, and then you have a cross on the 15 on different time frames. That's why this short is kind of dangerous, because we could definitely just rip. That could have been it right there. I'm not saying it was. So, but we'll give it a second. But it's pretty rare to get above the 200 the first time. So that's kind of what we're betting on. Although, like, when it does happen in scenarios like this. So I'm going to be ready to take profit. I'm not going to be greedy here for sure. I would like to get a test to the 100 to really feel like, hey, that was worth that there. Which is 21.50. That's probably where I'll end this. We're up 10%. We had some real good price action here. We got to be cautious too around the 50 as well. But relatively on the 5 minute, realistically, and the 15, we're testing this. I'm not rooting or predicting a new low here. However, all right, so we're testing the 50 now. I just want to test the 100 to feel like that was worth that trade here. We're up 12%, 17%. I'll give it a second. Let's see if we lose momentum here. Rejection off the 5 minute. Okay, so this is the stipulation to get the trade that I just put out. We're going to give this a second to get below the 50 here. We're up 16% right now. I don't know if it's going to do it. 12%. See, this is quick in and out as we stack. 100%. All right, let's see if we can clear the 50 to get down to the 100. Really, that's all I want. I just want to test the 100, the impulsive move back, and then we can kind of see, like, hey, do we have a bullish divergence forming to maybe let a runner run? I feel like I'm in a good groove right now. I'll just give it a second to kind of do its thing here. This is a good spot to get rejected, though. We can see the 15, we're at the 20, and then we're being rejected off of the 50 right now on the 5 minute. Sloping back down. We just got to kind of get to the 100 here. I don't know if we're going to do it. Let's give her a sec. Because this was really impulsive. This was an impulsive move down, like a liquidity sweep. So there might not be a lot of liquidity to really send us there. But I'm going to give it a second. I have my finger on the trigger ready to go at a moment's notice, one way or the other. I think we're going to get, I just want to test the 100 here. Testing the 100 is good. I don't know if there's a lot of liquidity because, like I said, that was a pure liquidity grab. What it was is a psychological level. People drew a line in the sand and they say, well, we didn't take out the April lows, so as long as that doesn't happen, then we're good. But if we take that out, we're going into a bear market. It's like, no, brother, like, that's not correct. But that's what people are saying. The market makers go where those lines in the sands are, and then they grab those lines in the sand. That's what happens again and 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 again. All right. I don't know if we're going to get this. Let's see. We start losing momentum here. Let's see. That might be it. It's not clearing the 50 either way on the 1 or the 5 minute. I'm trying to be patient here because that's the thing too, is like I can be a little bit more patient because we've already had, this is half the margin as earlier, which was half the margin as earlier. So this is way less risky right now. So we can give it a second, but I don't know if we're going to get it because let's see if it wants to clear this 200. It's sloping down pretty good. It doesn't look like it wants to do it either way. 21.25 or 21.44 for the 100. Pretty much even right now. let's see if we can clear the 50. 2146 for the 100. It's sloping up pretty good. I don't know if we're going to get it. So normally, here's like the normals, and then like we have to take into account. I'm not trying to talk myself out of this trade, but normally you get rejected off the 200. It's pretty rare to just bust through it the first time. However, this was a big critical level that got swooped, and it feels like that's what it was just a swoop of just a psychological breaking for people. So we got the impulse bounce back up to the 200. We took that profitable trade. We're in the short with half margin. This is a bit more risky because generally you get rejected here. However, this was a psychological swoop that might have just been a liquidity grab. If that's the case, then our trade will probably be wrong, but it's a quarter of the margin. Let's see. Yep, that looks like probably it. All right, let's see. Let's see if that was a fake out or not. I'm definitely not going to double down on this because, like I said, I understand the risk here of like this was a swoop. Let's see if we can get it though. This might be a fake out, breakout. I'm really just looking for a test of the 100. Putting in a higher low. We have reclaimed the 550. Yeah, I don't think. I don't think so. Let's give it a second. Bearish divergence on the 1 minute. But yeah, that's okay. We had it, but I thought we were going to go deeper. I should have taken profit there. I don't think that this one's going to be good. Like I said, that was a bigger macro liquidity sweep. We'll give it a second though. I'm not going to close it out because this could be a fake breakout, which happens a lot too. Like I said, it's pretty rare that you break the 200 the first time. This is going to be more of a battle now though. The other way, like I said, I don't know that there's liquidity down here. I think they grabbed it. But that was more of a, not a runner, but just a, like, hey, we had two good ones. We'll do a half-hearted short here to see if we're going to get a rollover or not with realistically a quarter margin. Let's see if that was a fake breakout, though. Because I think we will test the 100 before it if it wants to break. Because this is strong. On the 15-minute, this is across the upside. But again, like these are spread out. Each one of these is going to be a battle on the 15. Each one of these is going to be a battle on the, 5-minute. So we'll see if we can get that price action. This is our risk to reward right now. Not too bad. I knew that this was a bit riskier on the macro level, knowing how that Bitcoin sweep really was. That's a huge psychological level that just got taken out for people. But we'll see. Like, it was a good trade back. It was such a fast move. Like, I barely even caught it. I missed it by $25 because I was trying to teach and put it out, and I charted it out. But that's okay. Let's see if this wants to roll over here. Test the 100. 2155 is what I'm looking for. And then that'll be it's already been a great day. But let's see if it's a fantastic day or not. Again, like, not going to be crazy here. Because I don't know how much liquidity there is anymore. Good thing I closed. Yeah. um, okay, we're getting across with the 20 over the 200 on the 1 minute. I have my finger on the trigger because this could impulse really strongly the other way because of how that liquidity sweep was. But I'm just going to give this a second. It does feel like the bullish momentum is slowing here. I'm not adding more margin though because I am going to make sure that today is a great day. We've already had 2 pretty big wins. If we have 2 for 3 and the third was the smaller margin, then so be it. That's okay. It's still a great day. But let's see if it's going to be an excellent day or just a pretty good day. And that's where we're going to lock it. It's going to be, so we're not going to double down on margin or anything like that. If this one wants to be a loss, it's okay. It's still a pretty good day. But we'll see if it's going to be an excellent day or a pretty good day. Feels like that momentum is slowing. But again, like, yeah, like this was an impulse. That's the bigger thing, though, that we have to factor in with this trade here. And then the 100 it's sloping up pretty hard now. So I don't know if we're going to get it. Don't know. Let's see. We're about to get across on the 1 minute. Starting to slope back down on the 5 minute. You might say that this is a rejection off the 50 here. Let's see. This doesn't feel like a clean break of the 200 yet, but the 50, the 20, and the 100 are really sloping up, which is kind of going against us a little bit. We need a clean cross down and a clean rejection here to make this good. But the more the time goes on, the less that this is going to be a play. But it does feel like the bullish momentum has slowed a bit. But again, like, I keep stressing this. Like, I'm just trying to reiterate the risk of it. This is a riskier trade. But it's not risky as far as dollars because of how little margin we've done. It's just risky of the move. All right, we've had a cross on the 1 minute. Starting to slope back down on the 5 minute. So it looks like maybe 2160 at this point because I'm really just looking for a test on the 100. But again, the more the time goes on, the less of a play that really is as far as ROI. about to get a second cross bullish on the 1 minute. Is today going to be a good day or a great day? Let's see. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move stop loss down just a little bit to make it a really good day. 21.18. And if we get stopped, that's fine. But we're going to secure profit. Excuse me, 22.18. We'll make it 19. And that will secure the trade from earlier. That will make sure we profited twice. All right, let's see if we can roll it here. Definitely losing momentum. This is definitely a bullish or a bearish divergence on the 1 minute at this point. It's 1 minute, so it doesn't mean a whole hell of a lot, but it's there. The only thing that worries me is like this. I keep coming back to this. Is like, here's the risk for sure. This is a big risker play because when you have that, that could be it for real. Even in the micro, like this could be your PS, selling climax, secondary test, and phase B spring in the micro. 15-minute accumulation. But we should still get a test though, even if that's the case. Let's see. We got to clear the 50. We haven't been able to clear that on the downside. Clear cross on the 1 minute. Still mildly sloping down on the 5. Nothing too crazy. Pretty flat on the 15. The recent cross to the upside. Yeah, it reclaimed that quickly. That's insane. Okay, we've had another bullish cross, but let's see. Like it feels like it's definitely losing momentum here. Gotta clear the 200 here. Come to Papa. She wants to. I can feel it. Just go down and touch it, and we can be done. And that'll be that. High or low is fine. Um, 2192 here. We're right at the 200. We are below the 50, but we haven't like cleared it. And then the way that this is behaving too, this doesn't feel like a cleared 200 right now. This feels like a rejection. We'll see what happens, but just the behavior of the momentum is looking pretty decent. I don't know that we're going to clear the 100 though. This is sloping pretty hard. I don't even know that we're going to take out this low here. All right, let's see. Okay. Okay, we're getting across back down here. I'm going to go ahead and move it down a little bit more, secure some more profits from earlier. 2209. My stop loss. That will secure wins. We now have a 4-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Getting across here. I don't know. The 100 is really sloping hard now, though. I don't know that we're going to do anything with that. So I put my stop loss here, like this little high right there. I did that because I don't love the risk to reward is great on ROI numbers wise. The risk to reward on what just happened, I don't love it anymore. So I'm trying to preserve. If I'm wrong, that's okay. Now it's a great day. It's a great day no matter what. Is it going to be an excellent day? We'll see. Can we like really lose this? I'm about to get across here. 20 is definitely sloping down pretty hard. Because if it clears this, it can clear it violently. So that's why I keep moving it down. And I'm just okay with that. Either way. It's a big candle. Let's see. Because I don't know how much liquidity is down here. Like that felt like a macro sweep. Lots of stop losses were like, oh, we can't clear the April lows or we're going into a bear market. And the market makers say, yeah, that's cute. Yeah, because we got the 20 or 72.9. $2,000 impulse there. If we do it again, if we do another little thing and I haven't gotten to where I want to take profit, I'm going to put it here. And just keep kind of squeezing it down until like it doesn't even matter one way or the other. It's already pretty much at that level. It's a 4-to-1 risk to reward at this point. And it's very, very low margin. It's not even a quarter of what we've made so far today. Let's see though. I would love to see a new low here. If that happens, I'm going to squeeze it down one more time until we get the take profit. Maybe 2,200 will be the new stop loss if we can put in a low here. And I'll just keep squeezing it until we get to where I want to go or I'm out. Okay, gap down. That's what happened before we had the big move up this morning. Nope. You can tell the market's deciding right now. Okay, the market is deciding. I don't know that we're going to get it. Feels like 22 is a big level. I mean, obviously that makes sense. Okay, if we put in a low, I'm squeezing it down to 2203. And I might do that anyways. Stop loss 2203. Now a 5-to-1 risk to reward ratio. And we might get knocked out, but that's okay because this could be violent. Because this was a liquidity sweep, so that's why I keep moving it down. I keep moving my stop loss down because I don't want to be caught on the other end of like, hey, that was it. Which is very plausible because just how people are. They just they draw these artificial lines in the sand that aren't real. And the market makers are like, yeah, I'm going to show you how real those are. Let me show you how much they matter. We're just trying to preserve it, and that's we're pretty close. We're trying to preserve the wins. I'm still by 30 cents. Nope, we're out. Okay. All right, that's it. That's okay. It's still a great day. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the risk to reward on that. The process of that, because look, now it's going to go. The process on that was really solid because what we did, let's recap. We had the trade this morning, was a great trade this morning, in and out. And then we had this big flush here, and I caught the bounce on that, and we put it out. I put it out a little late. I did not get the entry that I wanted for sure because I charted it at 21.25 and I did not get it till 21.50, which is very unfortunate. But we did get a really good trade here And then the idea was that we were going to roll over and then put in a higher low. We kind of did, but not really. Um, but what we did was we backed off the margin twice. Um, so that there was like, I knew that this was a structurally risky play, but it was less risky ROI dollar wise, and we're still up. I think we're up about 5,500 on the day, which is really good still. I'm definitely happy with that. Um, yeah, this could be violent the other way. I'm not gonna mess with this. I did like what we were doing, but I don't love it anymore, and that's okay. That's why I kept squeezing it down. We could have left it where it was at. This might still be a good trade, but look at the 100. The 100 is all the way back up to the 200 at this point. Like it's not gonna. I was trying to test the 100. We're not even gonna be in profit doing that now. So I'm happy with getting out where we got out. That's fine. And I'm really happy with the process on how I took those trades, even though the last one wasn't profitable. Um, it was still a great day because we kept. I don't know. I'm trying to articulate through what was happening as it was happening, but essentially, I liked the ROI of the trade. I liked the move of the trade, but as time went on, I didn't like it anymore, and it felt like it was kind of not really going our way. So I kept moving the stop loss down, or in this case, up. I guess down, less risky. I don't know. I kept doing that um, because I wanted to preserve capital because I didn't like the trade anymore. But that's okay. We'll see if there's some more opportunities to play here. I doubt there's much liquidity down here at this point. I was seeing if we could get a quick scalp downside, but I don't know. This is a pretty big bullish divergence at this point for Bitcoin. On the 15-minute, you can see the RSI is going up. Price is going down. Volume is going down as well. So double bullish divergence, and this was a psychological level. Like I keep talking, I keep going back to that. Like I promise you, you're gonna see this shit online where people are like, we just did this. We're going into a bear market, blah blah blah." And I'm telling you, the market makers will go to whatever magic number you have, and they will take it out. That's what they do. Um, so this is a bullish divergence as well on the big time frame, on the daily. I don't know like when the spring is going to finish. I imagine a day or two or a week, whatever the case may be. But we are certainly in that phase right now. And that might have been it. I'm still not willing to stamp it. Tony might be right on his target. 72. I mean, that's potato, potato. He's more right than I was at this point. Um, but it just feels like this was a line in the sand that people drew, and the market makers took that line out. And now people are like, oh, yeah, we're going to a bear market now. It's like the finality is what we're experiencing, not going into. People are ridiculous. Okay. Yeah, I don't really want to short it here. Probably done trading for the day. I'm still happy with the day. Happy with the process. We'll see what the opportunities bring, though. But I just couldn't pass up that. This move right here looked real juicy, so we got in on that. All right, guys.